I'm sensing something. I see a successful show with sensational segments and super celebrities.
Obviously, it's S Day.
Please welcome your hosts, Michael Berger and Maty Montfort.
Big house.
Yeah, he's got a big house with big hands.
Big house.
Feet. He's a big guy.
Yeah, he is quite tall. And another of our celebrity hometown tours. Today we're going to visit one of my favorite cities.
San Francisco.
Superman, are you taking us to San Francisco?
That's right, on my wings.
Actually, you know who's doing it is Peter Tork. You remember him from the Monkees?
Monkees, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that? They walk like this?
Yeah. Here we come.
Hey, we're the Monkees.
Walking down the street.
I did all this choreography myself. All right, let's get on to the show, shall we?
Hey. Anyway, so we're going to check out San Francisco. One of my favorite eating towns, really.
Yeah.
It's such good food there.
And then tips on tape for the letter S. So that happens every day with a different letter. We wouldn't show you, R. We'd show you S because we've... It means sugar cookie. It also means celebrity hometown tour. It takes place in San Francisco with a singer you will remember. Take a look.
Oh, I like him with spirit.
Peter Tork was 23 when he became an American pop phenomenon.
Well, there's reasonable limits to everything.
Here we come. A couple of smart TV producers had seen a Beatles film and decided to translate it to American television. Peter and 3 other musicians were assembled by a casting director, and the Prefab Four became very famous very fast. They racked up 8 top 20 hit records and 5 top 10 albums. Now, the TV show is back in a new series of home videos. The records have also been re-released. So, we went looking for the Monkees.
The first time I was ever in San Francisco, the Monkees were on tour. We were just doing the Cow Palace. I remember that concert. I got hit in the face with a banana.
Peter is 53 now and lives near his 2 grown children in a charming neighborhood in San Francisco. And he invited us on a hometown tour.
Hi, Mike and Maty. This is Twin Peaks, the highest part of the city. You can see everything of San Francisco from here. Some of the time. Gee, if we had some stock footage, maybe we could show you what it looked like from up here.
San Francisco, open your golden gate.
This is where I live, my house. Don't show the number, we don't want the mass to know. We are roughly in the Panhandle section of San Francisco, which Panhandle is this little tiny narrow strip of park. It's the Great Golden Gate Park, which most of it is big and goes to the ocean. It's a little tiny strip, Panhandle. The other side of which is the famous Haight-Ashbury from the old Haight-Ashbury days. But we're on the other side. We're safely away from those people. So first thing on the agenda is an Americano, a decaf Americano.
My name is Blue. I'm 2. I'm 2.
The usual? The usual. A nice big one in a big old latte cup. There's a lot of hustle and bustle in New York City, and I love some of that. I love some of the hustle that New York City has, and San Francisco has that. And then there's the climate. Mark Twain once said the coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. I don't think that's quite fair, but it does get pretty brisk. Look at that trolley. That's they're starting to refurbish and redo old trolleys a lot for the trolley lines through here. It's the only city in the world that remembers what it used to be. You know, every other city in America, it seems like we're going to forget what we are, okay? Let's go out and forget what we used to be. How do you like that? Okay? Except San Francisco. San Francisco remembers who it used to be, and it honors that. This is the part I really wanted to show you. I mean, this is like the picture postcard version. These are the painted ladies, the great, wonderful painted Victorians, and you get to see how wonderful and colorful they are. And behind that, the hustle and the bustle of the big city, the Transamerica Pyramid and all that. There's another one over there I'd like to have you have a look at. For some reason, this one always appeals to me. The ominous, the big black, the dark. You don't know what's going on inside of there. So much creativity and imagination goes on around here. I'm just going to stop in and get something from the drugstore. This is a traditional Chinese medicine drugstore. I come in here and I give them my prescription. This is a Looks like gibberish to us, but that's because we can't read Chinese. The whole approach, traditional Chinese medicine approach, is very different from ours. They have energy cycles that we don't understand at all. They make no sense to us. When I was talking with my girlfriend, I had a whole bunch of symptoms. She said, "Oh, that's all liver Qi deficiency," which is a kind of energy. I don't know what it means.
Are you feeling?
I left my heart. Some of the tourists who come to San Francisco stay at the top of the hill hotels like the Mark Hopkins. Great view, great food at the top of the Mark. But if you wander into the residential neighborhoods, there's some surprises there for you, too. So this is Oritalia. It's Ori for Oriental and Talia for Italian.
So have you ever had our roast quail before?
This I've never had before. Talk to me about the roast quail.
These are roast boneless quails. They're served with garlic mashed potatoes and mustard greens. There's a sauce made out of homemade pancetta, which is Italian bacon.
Aha.
A little bit of tomato vinaigrette. This is our salmon that's cured with Chinese celery. It's a nice pungent celery flavor. And then this is our trout salad. This is house smoked trout, cucumbers, lemongrass vinaigrette, wasabi tobiko, which is a Japanese horseradish, and then a little bit of cured onions goes with that.
Look at that. Have you ever seen such a thing in your life? Doesn't it make you drool? Look over here. I want you to see just the trees. I thought bay leaves came one at a time in bottles. There are bay trees. Every single one of these trees it's filled with leaves. Every one of these leaves, you crush it, and you go, this is just the most wonderful thing in the world. It's so aromatic and strong and vigorous. There's that great vigor to this city. That's the real thing about the city, the vigor of the city. It's like New York that way. New York is maybe more vigorous, if not entirely panic-stricken, which San Francisco is not. There's an undertone of solidity. It's real here, you know. It's like all that vigor, and yet people pay attention to things. And it's like those are qualities that I think that we need to keep in mind. Don't you? Okay, so that's about it, Mike and Maty. This is Peter Tork saying goodbye from San Francisco. What better place than on the famous Golden Gate Bridge? Hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have.
Give it back!
Peter Tork's new CD is Stranger Things Have Happened. We'll be right back.